Hi, my name is Derek Weininger. I'm going to be going over how our design process went throughout Capstone. First of all, we went through a pretty major redesign early on. I think it was the third week of the first Capstone class. We had our game where we were just a human doing random booby traps in a cave, and we enjoyed the main concept and the gameplay of it, but it just felt a little bit confusing on what additional mechanics and features we wanted to add. And so I think it was the third week that we just decided to shrink our character, turn him green, and make him a frog, decrease the movement, and increase the jump height and speed. And that really shaped how we thought of mechanics going forward. We didn't really come on any other blockades other than that, and we didn't really have to do a major redesign because of it. Most of the features we had already were already incorporated with that. We just had to adjust the heights and jumps and a little bit of the values. But that's the end of the design portion. And up next is Lane Ruff.
Hello, my name is Lane Ruff, and I'll be going over the mechanics portion of our project here. Over the last 4 months, we have been able to put things in, and we've been able to get things to blend together very nicely as far as our mechanics go. They've done a lot of evolving, especially whenever we did our redesign from human to frog character. A lot of things that we initially set on in the first month of Capstone, as opposed to the second or third month of Capstone, went from something that was super realistic to a little bit more whimsy. So for instance, we've got a bubble in there that the player can jump on that gives them a little propulsion upwards, or the player picks up a lily pad in order to gain the dash ability. All in all, I think our biggest bugs really presented themselves whenever we decided to make the change from singular levels to one persistent level. And we did deal with a couple issues right there, such as broken references, player reference wasn't being wrapped correctly in a number of blueprints, and some such like that. As far as mechanics that influence the level design, I believe that the level design and the concept in general actually more so influence the mechanics, especially as I've mentioned with the rope swing and the jump bubble, as well as our dash ability, which ended up being changed because of our level design. And up next is Aiden Males with our level design.
Hi everyone, I'm Aiden Males, the vision holder and main level designer for the project. The biggest inspiration for this project in general is Celeste, along with a little bit of other original Nintendo platformers, like Super Mario and Donkey Kong. We saw that these games do a great job at introducing the player to the main mechanics they'll use, and as the player mastered each mechanic, the game would test their skills later in the level. Taking this mindset, we applied it to our level here. Like what Lane stated before, the level design heavily influenced how the rest of the game panned out, but I also think it worked the other way around as well. There were many changes to the game that resulted in the level design changing, whether it was cut content or new design ideas. Changing things made the game more fluid and made it an overall more enjoyable experience. When making the level, we heavily relied on a modular design, which ended up working out very well, and metrics played a huge part. Implementing all the assets was a breeze, and having everything easily measurable made the whole process of creating the level smooth. A design philosophy we found ourselves coming back to was simple but effective. Nothing at our level can be seen as complex or super detailed, but when playing through, everything falls into place, and the player can get stuck in a flow state whilst playing through the game. And now, I'll hand it over to Elijah Lewis.
Hey, my name is Elijah Lewis. I'm with Team Phantoms, and I'll just be going over team performance and communication. One of our biggest strengths of Team Phantoms was our focus on communication and setting clear goals. From the start, we recognized that each team member has a different work schedule, so we made it an effort to divide tasks fairly while still being flexible. Clear task assignments also tie directly into team performance. When we all understand the scope and work that is needed to be done, we were able to stay aligned and hit our weekly milestones and move forward. Even when challenges came up, open communication allowed us to quickly adjust. Overall, by making communication a priority and ensuring goals were always being defined, our team was able to stay organized and maintain momentum throughout the project. It showed us how important it is to balance working, planning, and flexibility, and also how much smoother a project runs when everyone knows their responsibilities and feels supported by the team.
This project definitely had its ups and downs. However, we were all able to get through everything that got in our way and made a product that we were all happy with.